Hey, what's up everybody, Life Without Pants here with another Path of Exile video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a project we completed recently. Would not do this again. It was 100 Shaper Guardian sets. So for those of you who don't know, there's the Shaper Guardian, so you got the Maze of the Minotaur, you got the Forge of the Phoenix, Lair of the Hydra, and Pit of the Chimera. And once you've done a set of all these, and it's witnessed by the Maven, then you can do an invite called the Formed. And let's see if we've got one here. We should have a couple, yeah. And then you will get a number of things drop from the Formed invite. Largely, you're after Crescent Splinters, which are part of Maven's Writs. And the Maven's Writs right now, they are 89 Chaos. 90 Chaos is enough. And it's the Maven fight, and it can drop an Orb of Dominance, which is the main payoff for the Maven fight is the Orb of Dominance. Obviously, the Orb of Conflicts and Elevated Sextants are pretty good, and those are the things that you will get as secondary loot. So I just wanted to find out how much loot do you get from doing a lot of Shaper Guardian invites, and see what happens. So let's get into the loot breakdown. So we dropped a lot of maps. I have these three quad tabs here we did 400 maps and 100 invites. So we got a lot of maps, obviously quite a lot of Shaper infused or influenced by the Shaper maps. We largely skipped League mechanics, so Blight, you can see we've got one Blight map here. We largely skip League mechanics that take any time, so we skipped Legion, we skipped Ritual, we skipped Blight as much as possible. I think the only one we really engaged, obviously we didn't do Expedition either, but the only one we really engaged with was Delirium, because you can just jump through the mirror at the beginning of the map and rush to the end. To give you an idea of what our Atlas passives tree looks like, we've got Twice Tempted, so we've got extra strong boxes, extra essences. I put the Alva mission on just so we could get some more Alva missions. We've got extra extra essence stuff. We've got more Harbinger. Just getting lots and lots of stuff that was useful for every single map that we would run. There's more essence over here, some more essences. Got some more Harbinger stuff. And then these, you can ignore these pretty much. They're just from a previous round. But we've got the Conquered Conquerors, so we're trying to get extra Conqueror maps. We've got the Synthesis implicit stuff over here, so we get, not implicit, but Synthesis, we want Synthesis maps to drop. We've got these Gates into the Abyss, Remnants of the Past, and Guardian's Aid, so we can get some extra stuff from, as we're doing 400 maps, we want to get some more map drops. And then we've got Captivated Interests, which is 20% more Crescent Splinters found in every invite we do, and +2 to monster level. And then an extra, this one doesn't really matter too much, but over here we've got 25% Dance for Orbs of Conflict found in areas to be duplicated. And I think this only fired 3 times during, or maybe 4, during the whole during 100 invites. So we didn't get that as many Orbs of Conflict as I thought we would. I think we got 25, so 1 in 4, but that's only with this. So Orbs of Conflict, probably not a great way to, these invites, not a great way to farm Orbs of Conflict. So let's take a look at the other stuff. We got, obviously got lots and lots of maps. But apart from that, we've got over here, this is all the cash we've got lots of chaos. We've got these divine orbs, largely from 6 links we found. We vended all those. Lots of ancient orbs because we've got harbingers. We didn't put anything in the maps at all. We just put in, put the map straight in the map device and ran it. A lot of orbs of annulment. Fusings, we've got a crazy amount of fusings. Scours, alchemies, vials, alterations, chromes, etc, etc, etc. All these delirium orbs we got from engaging with delirium mechanic just by jumping through it and not doing anything else. We got 1 1/3 of a simulacrum, 1 1/4. Quite a lot of Gemcurve's prisms and a truck ton of essences. We also got quite a few scarabs, including a couple of winged scarabs as well. We've got a winged elder and a winged metamorph, and this is just from opening up operative strongbox, which come across every so often. There's not a huge amount of them, but you can certainly get a decent amount of scarabs out of them. So let's get into how what the notable drops are. Obviously, a lot of bubblegum currency and essences here, but this is all these fragments we've got. We've got several hundred fragments here. We also dropped a lot of formed invites as well. These go for about 40 chaos, I believe. Oh, that's how much we paid for them. They're a lot less now. It's getting towards the end of the league, and this did take a long time. Obviously, the Maven's Writ is quite expensive and formed, I think, the large part of the loot we got. And then we got all these Conqueror of the Atlas maps as well. So we've got lots and lots of Veritania, lots of Drox, lots of Al-Khazmin maps. And obviously we got some Elder Guardian maps as well, quite a few. A lot of, I was quite surprised that we only got 1, 2, 3, 4 Maze of the Minotaur maps out of the entire set. We also favorited Promenade, so we've got a lot of Promenade maps, and these go for 3 chaos quite easily in bulk. I think Excellence prices them a lot lower. We hovered over all the contracts that dropped, and only picked up the Deception ones. I think we got around 11, and I think we got 12 of those, and interestingly, we got 11 blueprints. So we got as many blueprints as we get Deception contracts, which I thought was quite odd. We got a lot of Orbs of Unmaking and quite a lot of Awakened Sextants. I think there's a lot of money just in the Sextants. As far as Exalts go, we got 3 raw Exalt drops, and then the rest was just out of Splinters, largely from Harbinger mechanic. We got 2 logbooks, we got a couple of sets of the synthesized maps, and we got 1 Cortex drop. A couple of Sacred Orbs, which I wasn't expecting at all, and then here you see we've got 25 Orbital Conflicts. These are fairly decent price. And then we got some Awakened Gems down here as well, so Awaken Added Cold twice, and then Awaken Elemental Damage with attack support. Some of these are worth 10 chaos, some of them are worth 2 exalts, so but we only got 9 out of 100 invites, so it's around 10% chance to drop one of those. And as far as cards go, we got a few useful cards. The Watcher's Eye card was quite a good drop, and then we got a level 3 Enlightened, and we also got a Nurse card. And one thing I forgot to put in, this dropped. We got an Enlightened support quite early on, and we just started leveling it in our offhand as we were going. So this is what the loot looks like. I'm going to have the Excellence Next data in just a second. So first of all, obviously we've got to talk about our costs for this endeavor. So we paid 8 chaos per map. So there's 4 maps for each one. So it's 32 chaos we paid in total for the maps. We scoured them, we chiseled them, we alked them. We didn't vial them, but there are a few mods that this build can't run. So reflected elemental damage, non-cursor of your skills, that kind of stuff. It's an aura stacker, so it's quite heavily reliant on a few of those things. So we put about 2 chaos per map. Then we also paid 40 chaos on average for the invites. The invites were, they ranged in price. I think the cheapest we paid sometimes was 35 chaos. The most expensive we paid was 42. So we tried to keep the cost down for it. So it averaged out to around 80 chaos per set. So obviously then we multiply that by 100 and we get 8,000 chaos that we invested into this strategy. We largely ran straight through the map. We stopped for things like, as I said, essences. We stopped for harbingers. And that's how we got all the exalted orbs. For our Excellence Next, this is what it ended up looking like. We made 22,868 chaos, which is around 160-ish exalts. So pretty decent. It says it's 143 chaos. So we just divide this by that, and we get, so we made around 275-ish percent return on our investment. And I've ordered it by total value here. So we've got the Maven's Writ, which is the most valuable thing here. We made almost 2/3 pretty easily of our investment just back in Maven's Writs. The formed, these were, like I said, 40 chaos on average we paid. They've gone down by 15 chaos. It's a huge drop, and we still made, with just these two things, we made almost all of our money back. That's not including, the fragments of the Phoenix, or the fragments of Phoenix, Hydra, Minotaur, and Chimera. The Orbs of Conflict as well. These are a pretty hefty amount. And if we scroll down here, you can see the cumulative chaos. It gets to 21,000 at the bottom here. And if we go to the very end, there's 182 rows out of 50, and it gets to 22.5. So the lion's share of the loot is in the first 50 rows. And this is not even accurate either, because we have these promenade maps here for 2.09. Obviously, these will sell in bulk for a lot more, as will all of the Shaper sets. But also, all of these Citadel maps, the ones from the Conquerors of the Atlas, these sell for, no matter what map it is, they sell for around 35 chaos right now. So there's a lot of those that aren't accounted for in here. Obviously, Awakened Elemental Damage with Attacks, Cortex, we got pretty lucky with those items. But the other stuff, and the Sacred Orbs, but the other stuff is just things that you would get a lot of anyway. So all the Orbs of Fusing, or the Essences. Again, the Saints, the Nurse or the Saint's Treasure, maybe you wouldn't get many of these. I think we got 2 sets of the Saint's Treasure out of Diviner, the unique Divine, or Diviner's lockboxes. But we got, lots and lots of bubblegum currency makes up a large amount of this. So that's what it looks like right now. 160x is nothing to sneeze at. And I think this means that if you're going to do this at the very beginning of a league, 275% is a very, very good return on investment. I would not do something this big again. I wouldn't do 100 sets of them, that's for sure. I was pretty tired of doing it after only 24 sets, so or 25. So 1/4 of the way through would be more than enough for me. At the beginning of the league, you get a lot of money you can reinvest into your character and start doing something more profitable instead. But like I said, there's a lot of money to be made here, and a few very, very interesting quirks that we came across, like the same number of blueprints as you get deception contracts. I'm gonna make sure that all of this data is available to you in some way. It's gonna be down in the description below. There's gonna be a link to there's gonna be a POB for the build. Not that I think you need it, because any build can pretty much do this. There's going to be a link to the Atlas tree, so you can make sure if you're going to do this, you target the right nodes. And there's going to be an export of the Excellence Next data. I think this is largely one of the most important tabs. I really wanted to know what kind of bubblegum currency we would get out of all of this, even though, like Divine Orbs and Ancient Orbs, I wouldn't really call them bubblegum currency, but it's super useful to know. We had a relatively strict loot filter, and we also upgraded a lot of items as well. So you won't see any Orbs of Chance in here, because we turned them all 4-to-1 into Scours at the vendor. You won't see any Jeweler's Orbs, because we turned them all 4-to-1 at the vendor into Orbs of Fusing. We also upgraded all of the essences to Deafening, and then just put all the other ones in. We discounted all the other ones. So there's only Deafening essences here. And we got quite a lot of rogue markers, and we don't even have the include rogue marker skill tree node down here somewhere. I think it's this one, maybe here. Yeah, secret stash, plus 4% chance to contain a smuggler's cache. Okay, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video on this pretty big project. It's time for me to go and vendor all this stuff now. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe for more stuff like this. We're probably going to do 100 Mavens now, as we've got all the writs. We won't have to buy too many. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks very much.